Welcome back to Cyclone InCYders. Andrew Schneider here, your volleyball insider, as Matt would say. And today we're joined by one of the volleyball players, a senior leader, middle blocker Jamie Straube. Jamie, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks.
You guys are coming off just a big road win to kind of bounce back after a loss at Kansas State. Kansas State, of course, one of the better teams in the country. Kind of talk about how this week has gone for you guys.
We suffered a tough loss. I think it was a good road test for us, and we did learn a lot just from playing at K-State, playing in that tough environment. But I was really pleased with how we responded yesterday against Texas Tech. We started out a little bit slow playing in the morning, but we lost that first game. But after that, we kind of, we figured out a lot of things just from Wednesday's match, and then took that into Saturdays. And then the last 3 games, I thought we played really well.
And consistency has been kind of the key of the season. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, if you will, and that's how it's been described by Coach. Kind of talk about what that's been like as opposed to maybe last year when you guys were having big winning streaks and stringing a lot of matches together. What's been kind of the difference so far in terms of consistency?
Our schedule so far has just been, it's been tough. Last year we had a tough schedule too, but I think this year has definitely just been, every game has been so important. So we haven't really had a lot of time to, have those games where you can just work on a couple things, maybe prepare for a team that's, a couple games ahead. But I do think that we're learning a lot from that. Just every game is so important, because when we do get into the postseason, start playing in the tournament, every game matters. So we're learning from that. But, just having new players on the court, it's still pretty early in the season, but, just figuring out how we can balance all that out, getting that consistency, what works well for the team, what doesn't work so well, just, finding that balance.
So you just mentioned the new players, and that's really maybe one of the big differences from this year to last year. Obviously losing Carly, who was kind of your go-to last year, but you come and replace her with a very talented lefty in Mackenzie Bigby. Talk about kind of some of those front row players that are new, but they're very talented.
Yeah, all of them are just such hard workers, and I think that's, been the key so far this season, just of bouncing back and all that, because they, they don't get so discouraged. They keep trying, they keep working hard. But as a new hitter out on the floor, you're learning again. You're hitting against bigger blockers than you ever have before. But Mackenzie has done such a good job of, just staying confident. Sometimes I think she gets a little bit rattled, but we're all behind her. We're all giving her encouragement. So she's done a good job, I thought, especially on Saturday, of just finding that groove again. Start swinging a little bit better. And when she gets that confidence and she starts playing at that high level, those teams can't stop her.
And maybe something that's been a little bit different for Allison as well, and you've been with Allison all 4 of your years here at Iowa State. What does that help? How does that help you guys out there when you're trying to take big swings and trying to get big kills, to have Allison, who's such an experienced and talented setter?
Yeah, Allison does a great job of just communicating with us, talking about, where do you need this set? What do you want to hit? What do you feel comfortable with? What do you want to do? And I think she does a really good job of giving me, especially, confidence as a hitter, just saying, okay, I'm going to give you the ball, right here, and you're going to put it down. And so I know going into my approach that the ball is going to be there. And I think she's doing a great job with Big B. If she makes an error or something, Allison will say, that's my fault, or maybe take some of the credit. So the younger players aren't feeling so much pressure. So definitely having Allison out there, just being vocal. She's producing offensively, which makes it a lot easier for us hitters too. But she's really just stepped up as a leader and as a senior.
And she has some of those quick little kills that just looks like it really starts rallies for you guys.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like a couple times your passing's been really a big key for this team as well. And it seems when the passing goes, you guys go.
Yeah.
And with Kristen and with Rachel in the back, that's been really just a big key to have those two who are so experienced help you guys up in the front.
Yeah. They do a great job, and the thing with our hitters, we have a very balanced attack. We can get kills out of the middle, we can get kills off of our outsides, our right sides. Allison can dump, but so much of that depends on the pass. And I think if we can get the pass up there, I can hold the middle so our outside has a one-on-one, or we can move things around, run different sets, stuff like that. So just having that first pass up there really makes it hard for the other team to key on all of our hitters.
And now we've talked about everything, of course, except for the middle, and that's, of course, you and Tanisha. And this season maybe hasn't been as consistent as you've liked it to be, maybe not playing as well, especially early in the season, but it looks like a couple matches Nebraska, and then again this weekend, looks like you're starting to get a little bit more consistency, starting to get a couple attacks. How's it feeling for you so far this season?
Yeah, It's been a little bit different. I think, with Carly gone, I think that teams, will commit on me a little bit more. So, that's a challenge for me is figuring out how can I still produce for the team, if I have 2 blockers on me or if we're not passing well, or things like that, where I still want to be that player where if we're in a tight situation, I can be the player that Allison feels comfortable setting me, or getting a big block, stuff like that. So it is tough because you want to put that pressure on yourself, but you don't want to get in your head too much. And I think early on in the season I was really trying too hard, almost just trying to take on almost more responsibility than I could handle. So the other girls have done a great job of just stepping up for me and saying you get this and I'll get this. Just we're kind of figuring out how to feed off of each other. So I think that's been a big key to our consistency. Just just keep working and keep figuring out that balance.
Has Tanisha's improvement helped this season, kind of having her in there a little bit more in the middle? And she had a big game against Nebraska a couple weeks back, and she's had these big, huge games where it seems like she really fires up the team up the middle. How has that helped you, having someone who might be more or less your equal come in and help rotation, give you some extra breaks and things like that?
Yeah, T's done a great job, and she's just so physical, where she can just do things that are a little unorthodox, but when she's aggressive and when she's confident, she can put the ball down. And I think that gives other teams a lot of trouble just because they can't quite figure out how to stop her. And she does things a lot different than I do, so then when I come in, it's almost I have to adjust to somebody else, a different middle, so that gives me a definite advantage. But with her getting more experience, she can also talk to me and give me more feedback, and she can say, okay, well, this is working for me, or try doing this. Whereas last year I felt like I was kind of more telling her things that I saw, but now we're really feeding off of each other and giving each other a lot of good advice. And
now we're getting into the meat of the schedule, and we'll kind of go big picture again, if you will.
Yeah.
Big 12 season right in the middle of that, and you guys obviously have a few things you just need to clean up, but it looks like a big match after Texas Tech. What do you guys think you need to work on the most, with a couple of big matches, West Virginia coming up this week, a break this coming weekend, and then obviously still 2 left with Texas?
Right. I think our big thing is, like you said, consistency, and then just playing on the road, I think is so tough, especially with the new girls on the court, getting used to the feel of a new gym, tough road crowds. Every team in the Big 12 is out to get us, so that's just, having that target on your back, being able to handle that pressure. But we've had some things that we've been working on in practice, and I'm just waiting, patience and everything, but it will all just show up on the game, or at the game. So I think we just have to keep working really hard in practice and taking that competitive mindset into practice, so when we get into a game, we get into a pressure situation, we're comfortable dealing with that.
And do you think just the improvement, I think you kind of touched on a little bit, the improvement of those younger players getting used to those big road matches against, especially in courts like in Texas and in Kansas State, just, fans on top of you. Is the improvement of those young players a big key then, so that some of you seniors don't have to maybe necessarily carry the load that you've had to so far?
Yeah, I think it's just so important that in volleyball everyone's on the same page and everyone's feeling comfortable with each other, feeling confident out there. So, it's a lot of them, the younger players feeling comfortable out there, but it's a lot on us older players, making sure that they're confident and making sure that they, feel comfortable out there too. So, it's a lot on them, just making sure they're ready to go for the game, but it's a lot on us too, making sure that, they're, before every game, that they're feeling good.
And of course, last question here, the big goal for the season has to get past that Elite 8 barrier when you guys are in the tournament. What's it going to take after this Big 12 season? Obviously, still a lot of season left up until December. What do you think it's really going to take for you guys to get there?
All has to come together. I think end of the season, everyone's just, you want to be playing your best game. And I think there has been some games early in the season where we haven't had it all together, where, I don't think all aspects of our game have been, 100%. But I really do think that we'll peak at the right time. And, we might have a couple bumps along the way. We might have a couple losses that we'll look back and, kind of wish we would have played a little bit better. But in the end, it really does matter how we're playing in, the end of November, early December. So I think it's really important for all of us to stay optimistic and to stay excited about this season and just keep looking forward, keep driving and keeping that Final Four goal in our mind the whole time.
All right. We'd like to thank you, Jamie, for joining us today.